We got to talk about Bel Air, man, because bruv, listen, like it's so good. I think I've said to you before, it's so good, but you're so good in it, and then like there's times where like you have to like take yourself back, and you're like, I could imagine how hard that must have felt playing an iconic role like Jeffrey. But also it's bringing back something that people have such people's childhoods was raised on things like, the Fresh Prince. I know a lot of guys who didn't have their dad in their life, and they see Uncle Phil as like their dad in some ways. They could relate to him. I never had a brother, so I always felt like watching Fresh Prince, like Will was like the brother I never had. So you want to emulate him in some ways. So what was it like when you got the call to like be asked to be like, listen, there's this project and we want you to play Jeffrey? How was that?
Joy, relief, and happiness, and then I just moved. Just bought a place, a house, and then I realized I have to leave that and go back to America because I'd left America, family situation, and because of the pandemic, and so I'd been gone 2 years. And it's crazy that this job actually meant that I could go back to fulfilling my dream and being in line with my purpose. And then a little bit of nerves because it's a big piece of IP, right? It's like I grew up watching the original, I loved it. So everyone's online. Why are they doing that again?
Yes, I could imagine. Whenever you bring back something, because that's what I wanted to ask you. You're feeling such like it's almost like filling big boots, but you're also not, because you want to make it your own. So you're like, I'm not really filling out someone's shoes. I'm kind of creating my own shoes, but I'm just keeping the design of what the other person's shoes was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How was that to hear?
I mean, it was hard. It was hard, but there was a bit of me that when I read like the early draft of the script, I was like, oh, they don't know what's coming. They think we're doing a sitcom, like a literal remake of the original.
Walk in and then everyone's laughing.
They think I'm going to be in a butler's outfit. When I spoke to the creator, Morgan Cooper, he's like, we're not going to do like Black Help. It's like, he's from East London. I was like, oh, funny you should say that. I'm from East London. We started talking about what does this Jeffrey look like? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm very good with all my characters. I can go through them more of like, let's not play like a cliche or stereotype. You know what I mean? So if all the Americans, they love Top Boy, but you ain't gonna get Jeffrey like, black, you're not gonna get that. But how do I have that essence of that, but then also have that essence from the original? Do you know what I mean? And I started thinking about people that I grew up with or around. You know what I mean? I was like, how does Marlon afford that nice convertible Mercedes? But I don't really see him doing any work or anything like that. But he's always got time for the young ones and like go to school, do this and do that. And so what does that look like, in this Jeffrey character that's like a protector to the Banks family? You know what I mean? And then he gave me all this backstory that I just thought is the perfect route for me to work from, in terms of I know who this guy is. I pray that we get to show who he is over the 5 seasons, and then that's what I'm doing right now. I feel like I'm living my dream. I feel like it's great because the show is representing Black excellence in an international way, like the original did, and I think also there's a focus on Jeffrey in a different way with this version of the show that actually does explore like the Black British existence, you know what I mean? That we're not a monolith, we're all very different, and I feel like I'm sort of flying a flag a bit, which was nerve-wracking again, but it's been fun just to be like, actually on TV, it's rare on US TV that you see, British characters like Jeffrey, or Black British characters like Jeffrey.
And I guess it must feel so like, now with the emergence of so much more UK dramas coming out of the UK and kind of doing well globally, it must be really cool playing that character and getting able to like represent like who you are, where you're from, to that audience who might have thought, I thought it's like you're saying, I thought it might be like Top Boy, but they're seeing a grown man now. Do you know what I mean? Who's about it, but he's not. It's like we have those shows for those characters, but we also can immerse ourselves in a show like this where you'd think, I think if you told me before, like I watched the show, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be like from the ends, but like Oh, so in my head, I'd go straight to, oh, well, he's like a roadman. But when you watch it, you're like, I see. He's one of those guys. He knows what's going on. He knows how to carry himself. And I think as well, like, especially being in that place of LA as well. Once you go there and you've been there a bit, you can understand that character a bit more. I think if you haven't been there and you're like, what? You'd be like, how's this guy from East London gonna maneuver in LA? You're like, no. If you go LA, there's ways to maneuver. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to use your accent to benefit you. You know what I mean? Like, there's times where I've been in LA and I'm like, oh, right, it's a bit sticky right now.
You know that.
I got this nice car, and these men are really looking at me.
Yeah.
And he's, what's good, my guys? You lot all right?
Yeah.
Hey, my man, where you from, man? Oh, I'm from London. Oh, okay. Oh, you from London?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. Yeah. United, Manchester? Yeah, man, I fuck with them, man. Oh, wicked, man. Well, listen, big up, nice meeting you, man.
Yeah.
And then you realize you're like, this is my best asset.
Yeah, it's your superpower, bro. It's your superpower.
It's sensational. It's like, and you know what it's like? I think it's until you're there. It's not like going there and visiting. It's being there for a bit.
No, Mo, you're right.
It's the small things of going. Like, I remember being in a CVS, and like, again, you don't realize, because I think sometimes when we're from like the UK, we'll just I'll just go here. It's fine. It's a CVS at 10. It's 24 hours. I'll go at 1 o'clock. Perfect. I can get my hair greased and red hair. And then man are like, bro, don't go there, bro. You're like, what's the problem? And then you go there and you realize, you're like, oh, okay. But you realize how your accent can get you out of trouble, but also it's not threatening.